So the fourth question we have here is, how does profit distribution and decision making differ in partnerships, LLCs, and corporations? So this question is twofold. On the one hand, you want to know the decision making process, and on the other hand, you want to know the profit sharing process. So let me start with the corporate structures, which is the LLCs and the corporation. In these two entities, the limited liability company and a corporation, you basically have the board of directors, which are basically responsible for the day-to-day strategy and decision making of the business. And then they appoint a CEO who runs the business on their behalf and runs the office team and does all the day-to-day activities of the business. So they work on behalf of the shareholders, right? So the shareholders, in other cases, the shareholders are not always the decision makers unless you are majority shareholders. So this is the first issue when it comes to decision making. While in partnerships and sole proprietors, basically the shareholder, the directors, and they're basically usually the same people. So they are making the decisions, and they are also deciding on how the profit distribution will go. So for instance, in a partnership, this is already pre-arranged. So people will say, hey, you know what, we're going to put some money together, and you're going to put maybe 30%, I'm going to put this and that, and this is the ratio of how we're going to divide the profits. Let's say you get 20%, I get 30%, and so on and so forth. It's pre-established in their partnership agreement. In the case of a sole proprietor, it's a one-man show, so they can decide on either way. I hope that makes sense. Because in the case of a corporation or an LLC, it is the board of directors that will decide how the profits are also distributed, which is not the case in partnerships and sole proprietors.